Welcome to Short Sale Coach. Today we are talking about FHA partial claims and answering the question, how do those get handled in a short sale? Remember to subscribe to my page, like, comment. I try to get back to everyone as soon as possible. Short sales can be super tricky, so I'm here to help. If you have an FHA partial claim on title, meaning you're doing a short sale and not only do you have a primary mortgage, but you're also seeing a partial claim on title, friendly reminder, this is an FHA loan, right? So you're going through the FHA short sale process. And if you have questions about that in general, there are other videos on this page to help you. But if you have a partial claim with a short sale, what's important to understand is the partial claims get paid in full as part of the short sale by the short sale lender, the primary mortgage holder. So that sounds kind of complicated, but in reality, it's relatively straightforward. What that means is the first mortgage holder, whoever is servicing the first, will allow full payment to go toward that partial claim. And so you end up doing what's called a reduced net to the first. Basically, the first and the second are both serviced by FHA, and the first understands that if there's a partial claim, FHA will want that partial claim to be fully paid. So on your settlement statement, when you're presenting information to the lender, you present the full amount of the partial claim in your lien holder spot, and then the net to the first mortgage holder gets reduced by the amount of the partial claim, and that allows for full payment for the partial claim. You do want to make sure that you have an accurate payoff statement for the partial claim. You request that differently than the payoff statement for the first mortgage holder. But because partial claims don't accrue interest over time, the amount that the partial claim was when it was issued is usually typically the exact same amount when you're at the short sale point. The other thing to understand is, as you know, if you're working on short sales, FHA will be issuing an approval to participate, or an ATP. That document will tell you the exact minimum net that FHA needs in order to approve the short sale. And so if that happens, the way the partial claim interacts with the minimum net is the partial claim amount plus the amount going to the first mortgage holder equals that minimum net amount in the ATP. So it's okay if you're submitting a settlement statement back that doesn't have the first's net matching the ATP exactly, because you take the first minimum net and the amount of the partial claim, and that together needs to issue the minimum net amount on the approval to participate. Every once in a while, most servicers are great with this, they know it. Every once in a while, you'll run into kind of a newer negotiator on the lender's end who doesn't fully understand how to work with a partial claim. And so you'll want to tell them that they are doing what's called a reduced net, and they have to actually apply to FHA in order to get that partial claim paid. So you show them a HUD that has whatever's going to the first, the full amount going to the second, to the partial claim, and then the servicer takes that and they get approval from FHA to close with that reduced net. It's not really a reduced net, right? Because all of that money is going back to FHA, but partial claims do not require settlement. They don't settle, and you don't have to do anything with them because the first mortgage servicers will pay them in full. Let me know if you have questions.